My father was my role model, and I did adore him, and I did love him. What happened to me, he started coming into my room when I was 5, until I was 18. And the one thing that I knew as a child is that there was no hope for me of it stopping. And so as a survival tool, I dissociated. I call it split. I believe that somewhere in my mind, as a young child, I said, okay, you stay in the room and you take what you have to take, and I'll go out and I'll be very successful, and when I'm free and successful, I'll come back and get you and save you. And I believe I struck a deal. So I did. I went out and I was successful in everything I tried. I graduated with Phi Beta Kappa honors from college. I was on the ski team. I was in the modern choir. I was homecoming queen. I was Miss America. I was named the outstanding woman speaker. I mean, everything I tried, I was just successful, successful, successful. The problem is that I didn't want to go back and get her. I hated and loathed and despised her more than anyone I could ever dislike. I wanted her to go away. And instead of going back and welcoming her into my life, I wanted her dead. I never just could allow myself to be known, because you keep so much of yourself private, because you believe, because I believed, as almost every sexual abuse survivor believes, if you knew this about me, you would never want to speak to me again. And I continued to love my father until I was 56, until I received a letter from a woman who told me that my father had never stopped. My father continued to sexually violate children and teenagers until he died at age 75. They never stop. They never stop. Is there an exception to that? I'm sure there is. Would I trust my child with any kind of a sexual predator? Absolutely never. Not for 10 seconds. My mother walked down the hallway one night. I was about 11 or 12, and my father always came in late at night. Late meaning 10, 11, sometimes midnight. And he'd been in my room for maybe a half hour, and all of a sudden I heard footsteps coming down. I could hear the first step, and then the second step, very, very, very slowly, and then the third step. And she was now about 12 feet from my door, and I waited to hear another step, and it was a dramatic moment when everything stopped for all three of us. All three of us knew exactly what each one of us was thinking and knew. It's the only time I ever felt my father afraid. He just stopped. And I thought, it's going to be over. She's going to come in. And we waited for that dramatic moment. And then I heard a step, up the steps, and up the steps, and up the steps. And I knew she would never come through that door. And I knew she would never, ever come to help me. Do I believe she knew? Absolutely. I had a reporter say to me, "Did your mother know?" And I said, "It went on in our home for 18 years. And the reporter said, "But did your mother know?" And I said, "It went on in our home for 18 years. Would you know if something went on in your home for 18 years? Of course she knew. Did she repress it? Is that how I learned to dissociate? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe she just couldn't deal with it, so she just put it somewhere and wouldn't think about it. But I do believe she made a decision. I believe she made a choice, and she didn't choose me.